Okay.
Okay, so I think we have everyone that we that we want here. Tonight we're going to have the two groups that we're asking. They're going to present their final presentation for the ask, and then we're going to give them our final evaluation. And hopefully it won't come down to a vote. But and we'll see if they get their funding or not. So, all right, who wants to go first? Anybody?
We could crank on through it. Let's do
All
it.
right.
And it's just pretty much the one slide with the. We already looked at the main presentation last week.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay.
You gonna send that email?
So, yeah, just kind of anything that changed, fairly the same, just kind of representing.
Definitely. Want to get back down. Let's go. You guys take the budget?
Yeah, I kind of might have worked a bit farther than we were supposed to go last time, but I think that's better. And that makes these last meeting easy to discuss. Wait, we'll get the rest of you back.
It's amazing.
Band practice.
You're gonna close the door.
Yeah.
We got a band?
Yeah, there's.
There's like 4 people.
There's a kid there.
Many?
I was playing around with that at work this week. A little bit.
I thought it was the first time last week, we rode the elevator up with somebody. We asked how many people were in there, and he's like, there's 2 other people in there this week, and other people
Bills that we have.
I met one of the band people.
It's in graphene oxide, which is like basically like a graphite compound that's fairly inexpensive compared to what we're trying to produce, which is graphene nanoparticles that you can spin together, make fibers with it, or we're also looking at depositing. There are some methods of depositing a solution onto like a light scribe disk, and you can actually burn little graphene sheets into a disk with like a laser. So we got sort of involved with this project in our physics class that dealt with nanoscience, and we asked to do a research project concerning graphene, because John and I were very interested in graphene as seeing it as a new sort of super material that's stronger than 200 times stronger than steel, has 2.3% opacity and like a single layer thick, so it's fairly transmissive for visible light, and has incredible electrical properties. It's more conductive than copper, so it's a very strong material that could be used in a lot of applications that we saw a big promise as kind of replacing some of the advanced composites that we have now, and maybe someday overtaking structural materials as a favored material due to its pure carbon content, and be easy to recycle, and wouldn't be an energy intensive thing to make if we do it in the way that we're hoping to. So this project has been mostly sponsored by us. We've been able to use some lab equipment in the chemistry and physics departments, but our main method is to take graphene oxide powder, put in a solution with a antioxidant that would kind of absorb the oxygen that's on the graphene oxide, turning it into graphene, and then just keeping it in just non-oxygen environments so we don't get any contamination, but then testing the powder afterwards to see if we actually got it to reduce. So it's all room temperature reaction using organic antioxidant compounds that are found in plant matter and fruits, and we're using green tea for our extractions. So our lab procedure deals with a lot of, we're dealing with very small quantities right now, which are good for research testing. We've only done one test right now, and we'd like to do more, but in order to do that we'd have to work a lot more on our own time, which is why we're asking for some equipment to sort of replicate the laboratory setup we have now, which involves a optical microscope to measure our particle grain sizes, so we can see exactly how fine we're grinding the powder, so we can measure how much antioxidant we get from a certain particle size. Glassware, we're using some Erlenmeyer flasks now, some beakers that have a little vacuum filter on top, and lots of little bottles to measure out our sample sizes that we are currently measuring with a electronic balance that goes down to the thousandth of a gram, so making sure everything is very precise lab controlled environment. And so that's sort of the basic sort of materials that we're using right now on a sort of a regular basis. So it'd be great to have some of these items in our own possession, so we don't have to only go into the lab when teachers are there and you have to go through all this sort of procedure. And it's been quite a long, drawn-out process getting lab time just to do this one experiment. We've been stretching it out for about 5 or 6 weeks now, and we're still have another week to go. So.
Yeah. With just this equipment, we'd be able to take all the processing time of our
Shrink it down in like a day instead of
and we would
weeks.
only need to rely on anything school related for verification, like testing the purity levels,
Right.
which could be done in this facility or even at the research center.
Mm-hmm. So the ball mill is a rotary mill that we don't use in the lab right now, but it gives you the finest particle size for the cost that you can possibly get with any sort of machine. It's like a ball bearing kind of rotary tumbler that gives you really, really fine powders that are used in like rocket fuels and all sorts of applications where you need a lot of surface area of a very fine powder. So our goal is to use all these things which conveniently fit under $1,000 for some tinkering money to see if we can produce graphene, which is a single atomic layer crystal structure of carbon. So carbon's a pretty abundant resource for us, so we can use exhaust gases, sequestered CO2 from factories, maybe in the future, look at different sources of carbon to make our product. So we could turn trash into a really cool new building material. So that's our plan.
I have 3 questions. One, in what you put together, have you included shipping? Have you included taxes? And then under the miscellaneous, I see the material resources there. What else kind of fits under that? Is that going to be like microscope slides?
Yeah,
what kind of stuff fits into there?
Hot plate mixer.
Yeah, if we can afford it, if any of these things are on sale, hot plate mixer would be great. A little magnetic mixer, but it's pretty easy to make one of those by yourself if you just take a little computer fan, you like glue a magnet onto it, and then you just buy one of those little magnetic little stirring pills. So we could make that ourselves.
If you guys need a computer fan, let me know. I have an extra.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, this would go towards the material resources. Would go towards graphene oxide, and we'd be looking at buying like blocks of like graphite in like pure carbon form, and then trying to make our own graphene oxide out of it. And it'd go towards like a green tea, some
Pure antioxidants.
yeah, different antioxidant materials like grapes and orange peels and stuff like that that we could use. But everything is no, these do not include shipping or tax. If it went over at all, that'd be covered by us. This is just sort of like a view of some of the best prices that we've seen for some of the core equipment that we need.
Okay. So then you guys are aware that it's going to be at least $100 by the time you put shipping and so on and so forth on tinkering.
Yeah.
Gonna be less
Yes.
than 10% of what you're
Could be about right.
looking to
Yeah.
sign up.
Depending on what we do with this, I mean, there could be a little leeway for that.
Right. Yeah, we could take our glassware down a little bit, because there's a kit that's sold through United Nuclear that has pretty much everything we need. That's only $70, so we might be able to allocate another.
Okay, so if you mix the
$30.
glassware and the ball mill together,
Yeah.
obviously your shipping on the two come down.
Yeah,
Right.
most of the
So on and
equipment
so
we'd
forth.
be getting from United Nuclear, mostly because they're in Lansing and they have incredible deals on all sorts of like laboratory grade equipment.
You guys looked at renting any of the stuff? Like, what's the price difference between renting and owning?
I haven't seen any
Are
lab
those,
equipment to rent in this sort of, because it's not like multi-$1,000 machines that you'd rent time on.
Yeah, these are small items.
so they're not.
These
they're
are
not
like-
worth-
Yeah.
These are
they're not
classroom,
worth-
yeah, these are kind of classroom items.
Renting community that these are standard.
Basic like chemistry lab kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're trying to do anything in this business, if you're trying to rent this stuff, nobody's gonna take you seriously, so. Yeah,
Just-
no, I wouldn't.
So does this complete your lab? Is this enough?
Yeah, this would get us to where we are now.
So we can actually do stuff?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
How many experiments do you think you guys could carry out with this?
Over like probably the next work term, we could probably have at least maybe like 2 or 3 experiments a week.
Yeah.
Especially because since I'm done with my my co-op requirement in my current co-op, I was thinking about taking the summer to work on my own like personal work projects, starting a couple businesses. So I would definitely be able to spend a lot more time on this.
Do it.
Now is the time,
For sure.
when the risks are low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have made this suggestion earlier. Have you guys talked to Professor Zand at all? or not?
Didn't he help us a little bit with?
Yeah, with the reduction.
Yeah, he gave us a few pointers.
He's the best chemist
yeah.
in town here, so.
Yeah,
I really
he's a very
would-
bright guy.
Yeah, I'd love for you to run this idea by him.
Yeah, we've actually run our procedure by him a couple times,
Okay.
and he gave us a lot of really great pointers to keep our purity high and what kind of testing procedures to
Okay,
use.
stay in touch with him. I should have asked. I just had dinner with him. I forgot to ask him. You guys visited him or not? But he'll be a great, tremendous resource.
Yeah, we've talked to him a couple times. Well, that's pretty much it. Our company's called AJ HexTech. Alex and John Hexagonal Technologies, in reference to the hexagon crystal structure of graphene. So, still playing with the logo and all that stuff. That'll come later. But right now we're just really trying to validate the test procedure, because chemically it should work and theoretically everything should work. But we're going to have to tweak our lab environment a little bit to make sure we get a quality yield product that we can actually market.
And these were the items that got approved last week.
Yeah,
Were
this
they
is
this
everything that
specific?
was
They were
on
this
the
specific?
Yeah.
I wasn't here, so.
yeah, this was everything that was on our slide.
And following Kevin's point, there's always a plus minus 10% fluctuation. I mean,
Right.
you guys come in at 1100, we're not gonna.
We'll just come in a section and ask for.
No,
Please
I'm
do.
saying, I mean, we know these numbers are approximate, the shipping costs and stuff
Right.
like that, so, I mean, don't hurt your work because you wanna save $5.
Yeah.
Right.
Get what you need.
And
Can they, like, if there is like other materials that they need, perhaps, are they allowed to come in section? And is that part of the
So-
tinkering thing?
That's a good question. So here's a request for change. We don't wanna keep you 6 months before you ask, say, hey, midway, we decided it's better to spend our funds this way. So the procedure for that is that you email it in, you justify the change that you want, and it basically will put it through the leadership really quick, okay? So it comes to me, and I'll just hand it over to the leadership, and we'll just discuss it real quick and try to accommodate the change.
Okay.
So there's room for that. The change that usually people balk at, if it's really major, dramatic, you know, hey, instead of spending the money here, we just wanna go do something completely different, then that might become a,
Yeah.
well, why don't you bring it back to the membership? But typically, you know, if you decide you don't need that, and you need two, three other ones, or something else that you need to add, you can quickly justify it through email, and we'll quickly make a decision on it. I mean, we're here to support, we're not here to be an obstacle.
Yeah.
So, so,
And I guess another, to will end you guys, if you're around over a section, I would more than welcome to have you guys come and speak to the membership. One, it's more ideas that can come your way, and two, it's more people that know about your idea
See what
on the
you're up to.
marketing and networking side. And three, for the membership of a section, they have more opportunities to learn about what you guys are doing, how things are going, and then for the leadership and everything else, we see a better progression of how you progress versus, okay, we talked to you 3 months ago, oh, hey, lots of changes, as we all know happen.
Yeah.
You know, you come up to certain things, it takes a left turn on you, and you know, you run somewhere else.
and if we ever get our WebEx going, that'd be so much easier.
Yeah.
That's why I keep pushing that darn thing. But it'll get fixed in summer, right, Kevin? That's like
Goal for
the only
summer.
Goal for summer, the only goal for summer.
Yeah.
Damn WebEx.
We got the big, we got one of the two big ones from when we were
Yeah,
done.
we got knocked
the
one out.
email
That's
system.
right. Almost, the YouTube is almost there too.
Yeah, it worked last week, right?
I don't know. I will talk to you about that later.
All right.
Sorry, not to
Focus
distract
on
everybody.
these guys. Focusing on these guys.
I got small.
So, any other questions? Should we go over?
Well, yeah, also with the tinkering thing, like, I sort of also meant to, like, if perhaps they need like a better microscope or something, and it turns out to be like $1,000. Would that be something they'd come back and present on?
Oh, they can always come back and present.
Okay,
I
they,
mean,
they
can
could still
do
keep building
multiple-
off on the
Yeah, they
tinkering
can,
fund.
they can build up
Okay.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as
So
there's
everyone in the establishment phase
Well,
down the road.
I mean, at some point you decide that you're not tinkering anymore, you know, you're actually starting to, I don't know, what yours is gonna look like, you know, maybe you're starting to think of an IP, or, although that's a little more expensive than our budgets, but, or you're starting to think that, I don't know, now we need to establish ourselves as a business. I'm trying to remember if any of our businesses have had a high-tech component in it that actually, any of these? See, Redline did, but it didn't turn into a big manufacturing. It was building its own circuit boards. Well, we'll see. At some point, you have to decide, it's no longer about tinkering, it's about establishing ourselves as a business. So, I mean, right now, even though you're working on the logo and stuff, even though our document reads that we want you to establish yourself as a business and all that, that really doesn't apply to you guys.
yeah.
So don't waste your time trying to set up a business when, you know, you're still trying to figure out the concept.
Right.
Yeah, your business is the research.
Yeah, right now you're just doing research.
Definitely.
Because you've got nothing to market. So
Yeah.
once you got something to market, then you can go to
It's a
business.
research mode.
They will probably be in the States for a while.
Right. So when you read that document, we have some post-approval stuff. Some of it may not apply to you.
Okay.
And I still would like for you to write up, there's a little write-up we want from you, so I can have that. So I attach it to all your requests that come in, so you know who's asking and why. So that's still in there, so we would like to get that from you. Okay, we can talk about that.
Sounds good.
Everything?
Well, thank you guys for your time.
So, how are we doing? Well, no, you guys can still. This is
She's
a
done.
no-brainer.
We'll get the board ready.
Yeah. I guess to the membership, does anybody have any objections
Anything?
to anything on this?
All right, congratulations.
Go.
Yeah, we look forward. If you're around before summer ends, maybe you wanna drop by and just give us an update. Maybe.
Yeah,
For
we
sure.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Same time, Thursdays,
Yeah.
so, yeah, no, we'd definitely like to see you guys, and just let me know, and we can definitely get you fit in, so.
Remember your number?
No, I got my cell phone.
Speaking of your cell phone, so, Motorola announced that they're building their next phone in the United States. All of them.
We work with, maybe.
Hunter, if you did.
All right.
We're ready for it.
So, I'm going to be doing a educational nonprofit organization. The name of the organization will be Qalam Project. This is kind of the logo. It doesn't look good when I do it on the board, but this is Arabic for pen. So the pen is the tool for education and educating. So that's why I chose to name the company after. So coming to the item list, I presented these 2 weeks ago. The first two are this paperwork fees. So to get the company incorporated, be $20. To get the MPO status, it'd be $400. And I need a mic. So with the mic, I need a transmitter and receiver. The transmitter was approximately $90, and the receiver would be $95. And then the biggest item that I have is the clear board. And I talked about this 2 weeks ago. It's like a glass board on a stand and everything. So I'll be writing on the board and talking to the viewers. And this is about $2,000. Then I would also need lighting. This is the second biggest item that I have, approximately $720. Then background and support. The support costs $100, then the backdrop would be $45. So combined would be about $145. Then I also requested web hosting, but then I got a hold of this company that said that if I can get the 501c3 status, that they would give me free web hosting. So I think that would be a better option to get the free web hosting. And as far as designing for the website, I think for the initial stages, the design that I have right now is adequate. So I think it'd be smart to spend money on these essential items than to just go and make something look better aesthetically. So, any questions?
What's the total?
Oh, total is, hold on. It's about 3,500. So this is actually quite a bit. Yeah.
My big question, that clear board,
Yeah.
I could go out and buy the most expensive building materials in terms of like 80/20 and a piece of plexiglass, and I could get like bulletproof rated Lexan, and I wouldn't spend anywhere near close to the amount that they're charging for the clear board. I would recommend relooking into.
The thing about the plexiglass is I was reading into that, and people that have used it in the past, they've talked about it warping over time. So just in like 3 or 4 months of just using the dry erase markers. So apparently
what
like
type
the
of-
alcohol has some sort of effect on the plexiglass. And there's like clouding of the material, so I wasn't sure if
I even if you bought like really high end race rated like Lexan for like a windshield, you're not gonna come close to the price. I mean, you might spend a few $100s on the 4x8 sheet. It's not gonna clear a warp over time.
It's less than a sheet.
Yeah, like really high end Lexan.
I didn't know it was that cheap.
What?
I didn't know it was quite that cheap. What's that clear board made out of?
this is out of like some proprietary material of the company. It's essentially just glass, I think, but they don't really divulge into what it actually is, because they go about like, oh, this is our special thing, but this was like the only company that I could find that made a large enough one was Magna Cart, I think the name of the company was. Everybody else has like smaller ones, which are about like I think 2x4 or like 4x4, just sheets of glass. So this was the only company that actually had an actual clear board.
Now, was that with shipping, the $2,000?
Yeah, this
okay.
is the shipping.
How much was shipping? Was that like $500-600?
Yeah. So like, yeah, this includes
That's
shipping and
more-
tax,
more
so, yeah,
Okay,
shipping
that
and
makes,
tax.
that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, without the shipping, it's, yeah, just the shipping is like you said, like $300-400, so it's plus the tax.
And just so you know, to move that in your basement, it's like moving one of those in your basement, but you can't flex it and you can't knock it against anything.
I have a walkout basement, so that shouldn't be a problem. Yes.
Alright. Maybe thinking of the obvious, like, where's that company located? Can you just like pick it up? Is it close enough?
No,
It might be.
It's, I think the company's in, Philadelphia, I think. It's not located here.
Okay, well, Philadelphia, that's only a state away, right? Well, that's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So like, if you did.
But then how, I have to drive there, then I have to rent a truck and, cause this is 4x8.
You can rent a U-Haul for like $8 a day.
How much is the cost per shipping?
Excuse me?
Suicide run on
What is the cost per shipping?
I think it's like $300-400 for the shipping.
Figure shipping a full-size picture window. It's in one piece and assembled. It's not. The price that he's come up with for shipping makes sense.
What kind of aspect ratio do you
Plus
think
you
you
Just to
get on
drive
your,
it.
That's something I have to experiment with.
Because if you're trying to do like incredibly like chest head area, you may only need a 4x4.
Yeah,
If
but that's like one of the things. Like if I had like a bigger one, I could experiment with it. Whereas like even the 4x4, I think costs like $1,200. Then I would, just to save $800, I would go with a cheaper one. Then I would have that slung around.
Plus.
I think this would be the safer option actually.
you may be able to contract with some of the students here, so they'll pay you $500 on something as good as this clear. And some students may be able to make you a better product for cheaper.
Yeah. Does it have lighting, like within it?
No, not with it.
So it's just a thing, more or less?
Yeah, more or less. With the stand.
You're looking.
I think it's gonna be okay with most things, but that board. It's really nice that you've gone to a way to get your web hosting.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, no,
I appreciate that.
yeah, everything else on there makes sense.
That board is
Yeah, the
kinda-
board is like the board and the camera are the ones that cost the most money.
Were you still buying the camera personally?
Yeah, because I mean, like I said like a couple weeks ago, I want to experiment with the different cameras, so I'm gonna be like renting some out and stuff, so I can get a good feel of what cameras works best for my true applications.
How's the lighting gonna work? Again, you might have mentioned it, but.
So the lighting, I'm gonna have like two lights on the side, then one in the front, like coming from the top.
Like a full-size truck.
So I mean, I can show you a picture.
Is that for like a lighting array? It's like on like a rack. There's like cans that you adjust.
Yeah, essentially yes.
Because that's for $700 you get pretty nice lighting.
Yeah, and even the mics and stuff. I mean, it's not like name brand mic, but I think it's a pretty good mic. Everything is like pretty cheap except for this.
I'm still researching.
Okay.
I just don't understand that price. You search that around, is it always that, or is it just one company making it?
Yeah, it's only one company essentially making a clear board of that size with the stand.
So if you look at like, maybe like freelancers, like people that might make it custom.
Yeah,
No.
prototype shop.
I haven't looked at freelancers.
So let me turn the question around.
Mhm.
We always kind of, when we get stuck on stuff like this, we do a couple of mind exercises. So if this was your money, right?
Mhm.
I mean, you were spending out of pocket, what would be your approach? Would you run out and buy that right away, or what would you do to phase yourself in?
Like, honestly, I think I would buy this because me and Kevin were talking last week about getting really good like mics and stuff like the Sennheiser brand, but I didn't go for that $500 mic and like the transmitter and the I think it's $300 receiver, so I could spend more money on this. Because I think it's easier to upgrade these things compared to this.
No, I understand that, but would you try something else first? Would you just buy a piece of glass and?
No, because then it would be a waste of money though. Because then I think the cheaper option would be just to go with something that's proven, and then use that for a longer period of time. That's guaranteed. Than to go out and then spend a couple $100 here, $100 here, and stuff like that.
Could you come down with your price on lighting?
And the lighting, I'll have to look around more.
Okay, because, I mean, generally we try to use 3,000 as the budget, and you could probably do some pretty good indirect lighting, like what photographers use, which would kind of put you kind of within our edge.
3 plus or minus.
Yeah.
I mean, just so this is some context, I kind of missed your initial presentation. So what is the purpose of this clear board in your
So this is going to be the educational NPO as I talked about. So it's going to be me like recording videos of just giving pretty much lectures. So instead of having like a whiteboard and me writing like this and turning back around and covering the whiteboard, the clear board is going to be in front of me and I'm going to be writing on the clear board. So people can always see the text on it, and I can always be facing the camera when I'm giving a speech or a lecture.
I think it makes sense.
Couple of other issues. Where'd you get that NPO price?
This one, right from the IRS website. So they have two. So one is if you expect your expenditures to be more than 10 grand annually for the next 4 years, it's going to be $800. Then if you expect your expenditures to be less than 10 grand for the next 4 years, then it'd be 400.
Expenditures or revenue?
Expenditures, and then I think the revenue is, I think it was 25, I think. Like above 25 is 800 then.
Can you upgrade from this to the other one?
Yeah,
Is-
yeah. Or, like if I do get more expenditures or more revenue, then I can go back and spend the, just pay the difference essentially.
Is this also called 501(c)(3)?
Yeah, C3.
C3.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I remembered the higher number.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know there was.
No, because I mean, I don't think I'm going to have that many expenditures, especially then. If I have that much revenue coming in annually, then I can just pay it myself.
Right, I just didn't know if it was upgradable, do we have to go through it again? or- Okay. So let's keep thinking about that clear board.
Yeah.
I'd try to file for your NPO stuff first to at least get numbers and stuff as soon as you can, so that way everything else is like tax deductible and you can write it off.
Yeah, that takes.
And actually
Yeah.
get like refunded on your taxes for all the costs.
Yep.
Takes a long time.
Yeah, but this takes like
Does it
about a
take
year.
time to get
Yeah,
like
wait
the,
time on that. is
even
much
just
easier.
a number, like a reference number?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's been so many applications for NPOs.
Mhm.
That takes
I
about
talked
a
with
year.
Mark, and that's what Mark said. Like, and even if you get approved, that's when it takes a year. But you don't really get approved on the
You're
first
gonna
try.
hear back.
So they send you back and like, oh, change this in your bylaws, change this in your like company, this or statement. So it takes a while to get that status.
So revisiting that larger number, see, that's 75% of your investment
Yeah.
on an item that you don't know if 3 months down the road you might have a better idea, but makes that obsolete. Right now, it sounds like a great idea. I'm just, I mean, if it was me, I'd be just a little nervous about it.
But it's if you're gonna start off, so everything else, if you downsize it, the lighting, you could fill it in on its own. But with that clear board, you wanna come to market with something good. You don't wanna come to the market with something kind of shoddy. You could downsize all the other ones, and you could fill those in on your own. But the clear board is kind of the main thing, because if you don't have that, you've pretty much got nothing. You got a whiteboard.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I was telling you, like, that is a bit more important, because if you've got that, guys realize that, okay, now because you saw, or most of you saw how professional it looks. It's not,
Yeah.
he doesn't look like some terrorist in a cave writing on a whiteboard,
Yeah.
teaching Islam. He looks like he's actually, looks like, yeah, he looks like he actually is here to educate you on why this is important.
Yeah. I better shave before I give these presentations. But like you're saying that the baseline that you guys use is about 3,000. Then if I take these fees, you know, on myself, then I can drop this to 30, 60.
Or if you can save something on that clear board.
Save some money.
Well,
How heavy is that?
What are the specs on it? Heavy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what the weight is, but it's 4 feet tall and 8 feet wide.
Oh, that's gonna be heavy.
Yeah,
Well, and
that's just the glass.
Kevin, what'd you say your prices were on?
Somewhere between
Does it come
everywhere
in
that I've
standard
looked
and
up,
everything?
wherever you found's giving you a deal, because
Yeah, 'cause
where
like
I'm
everybody
finding
else
them,
is-
they're starting before shipping, between 2,500 and $3,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Before
this-
you even get into shipping.
and I think most of those are without the stands, I think. Or maybe you found some with the stands, but honestly, this is like the best price I could find for a clear board.
So the option, I mean, you're gonna have a studio set up, right, background? all
Yeah,
that. So the option of buying yourself a piece of glass and propping it up and the camera frame doesn't show the frame of the glass, that's not, I mean, a home jerry rig thing is gonna just destroy this experiment, at least for
I
4
don't-
months or no?
I don't think so, and I'm trying to look up what a piece of 3/8 inch thick acrylic's gonna run you.
Okay.
That's not gonna warp, and if you
Is
put
what
it,
is clear?
what?
What be as clear?
Should use graphene.
You'll be
I
surprised.
would assume,
You need to make sure the light doesn't come back.
so you're saying if I invest this in here?
when you buy
It'd be
yourself a
cool
12
at the end of
inch by 12 inch,
the video, you can just roll it out.
$15 and you test
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And you'll be
Because you
able
can
to
set up the same
save
lighting.
your, you
Hold
just
it
like
up
click
with
a
a
button on the
TV.
side and it can save to like your computer's like, screenshot.
Like shout out to AJ Hex.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I'm trying to come up with different solutions.
Well, my concern is not to, price you down. My
Yeah.
concern is just to get you through a trial phase, putting a couple of production videos out, or maybe even pre-production videos, just to convince yourself that that's what I need now, because this method is working. See, that's all I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
Just get yourself to a point and say, okay, now I'm gonna shell out the money.
Right.
And that's okay, we can approve it tonight even, that's okay, but it'd be a shame if you just went out and bought it, put it in your basement, or somehow got it in your basement, I don't know how you're gonna do the 2-man in the truck or something, this
Yeah.
thing's gonna be heavy.
Well, I
Hopefully
mean,
you
you
won't
guys
break
deliver
it.
right to my house, so if I can just tell the guy this.
Right, but a 4x8, that's a mattress, right?
Yeah, but I have a walkout basement, so I can just have him come around the bed.
Put it over there.
Yeah, just have
But
him.
it's a major piece of
Yeah,
item
it's,
here.
Does it come with a warranty?
I'm not sure how long the warranty is, but I know that they have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so I can return it after 30 days, no questions asked.
If you want to try clear polycarbonate for a 12 by 24 inch piece, it is $15 to see what kind of light reflection you have.
But I'd have to build the stand everything myself, right? Or does that?
Just hang it from.
I think the thing is, if it's big enough, if you have the space, your camera frame, I mean, your studio is gonna be stationary.
Yeah,
You don't need a portable stand, right?
no.
I mean, you could, with a couple of 2x4s, you could jerry-rig something that
Yeah.
holds the thing in place and it's never in the frame of your camera.
So you've got a clear wall.
Yeah, that's basically what you'd be
You can
building.
literally build a wall
Yeah.
and stand behind it and
Mhm.
do stuff. Now, if acrylic works, if your experiment says that after a while the pen,
Yeah.
okay, then that's a bad idea, then I would switch to glass.
Or if the light doesn't
Or if
Goes
the
into
light
it
does
directly.
something,
Mhm.
For a 1/4 inch thick piece of acrylic that is 4 foot by 8 foot, it is $200. You're probably gonna have another in $30 in 2x4s. And do you have any sort of power tools?
No.
Okay, in $300 in some power tools
Mhm.
between a circular saw and a drill,
Mhm.
and if it doesn't work, then you're
and you're still at $500.
Make it in the mechatronics lab.
Good luck moving it. Again, you need a truck to move this.
Well, but again, you're thinking full production, I'm thinking just, buy a sheet this big
Oh.
and.
Yeah,
That's
try
what
it.
I kind of was asking you to do 2 weeks ago, which I assume you did, you
Yeah.
went behind the glass and say, yeah, everything works.
Yeah.
But now,
If
if
you
you
wanna-
the next phase, make a trial video with something else that's crappy and just see how it works.
Mhm.
And then see if you can scale that up before you spend all that money on that. But that's just a suggestion. I don't know, I'll leave it up to the rest to decide what they want to do.
Yeah, and if you wanted to try out the polycarbonate black sand, it's like $20 to try this out. To go to Home Depot and pick up a manageable size sheet. To just put it up, set up lighting, and see how it looks writing through it. You don't have to necessarily, set it up on a desk so you get your head in it and write on it, record it, see what it looks like, and if it works, then go to the full size and you're like $300 in materials.
We don't have necessarily a totally huge problem with the board, but we just wanna know that it is needed and nothing else can really work.
Okay.
Because, I mean, when I look at it, and from my perspective, if I couldn't get this board and I was planning that was you, like, and if I couldn't get the board, I wouldn't take anything, because it would be, if nothing else would work besides that board, then I've got nothing. I'm showing up to the BMW dealership with like a Kia or something. So I've got nothing to move what I'm doing. So, I mean, if you could show us that there's nothing else will work, then we could maybe see it. But, and so we're just kind of asking for,
So you guys actually want to see like the stuff that I did beforehand, before coming to the conclusion of this,
So
essentially.
you've done some stuff then?
Yeah, cause like I've tried writing on like just glass. Glass doesn't work at all. But I haven't tried like
refraction.
the polycarbonate stuff that you're talking
What's wrong
about.
with glass, by the way? What happened?
The marker
It doesn't.
doesn't transmit any ink to it, or like beads up.
Yeah, and then when you go to erase it, there's I think the term is ghosting.
The big smear mark.
Yeah, and then you can still see the text that you erased. And then and glass is the
What kind of glass did you write on? Because I know I use I use dry erase markers on the windows in the dorms all the time. With a sock. So a dry erase marker and a clean sock. No fabric softeners or
But
anything.
keep in mind that you don't actually have the lighting and like a good backdrop and stuff though.
Yeah, no, that's definitely fair. And I'm not disputing that. I'm surprised that it beads up. Like I'm wondering what's on the window and what window you use that it would bead like that. It sounds like almost like there's a wax coating on this window that you're writing on.
The true text. Right help.
Write it backwards.
We can just flip the image at the end.
Not here.
Not that. Is that hello?
Help.
Oh, hello.
That's the thing that you don't really know about.
Hold on.
Hold on,
Silver
guys.
bottom.
Hold on.
What?
Aaron's got a point.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're trying to hit like, you're trying to put all in on something that could either like be the best thing, or it could be like, or it could not work as good as something else. Like, why not just go like the acrylic route, and then, then I'm sure you can come back and present if this clear board, if he still feels like this clear
We
board
can
is
even
really needed.
provisionally approve it, so it doesn't have to go to the wrong one. But provisionally meaning, you come tell us that you tried something else. Again, we're not trying to be an obstacle. We're just saying, if this was your money, would you really shell out 75% of your budget right away? Are you at that point? Are you convinced of that right now?
Honestly, I am convinced
You
of
are,
this. Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause, like I said beforehand, I was spending.
You would want to use paper towel, not the eraser. The eraser doesn't
No,
soak
erase
up.
doesn't work. It had some sort of wet stuff. This clear board, how do they erase stuff on it, you know?
This is the purchase of this comes with the whole kit, so they have their own like eraser and their own markers and stuff too.
Oh, so it's has special stuff.
So it's like special stuff. Like I said, they don't really go into depth of what the material is actually made of
Okay.
on their website. But,
So, just caution. You see these boards in front of you? When I bought them for this room, they said, these are the best in the world, they never ghost and all of that, and they ghost,
right.
right? And we paid, I don't know, $400 each or something like that. That was a big expenditure. That's what I'm saying. You need to research that, since it's 75% of your budget. you just need to research it a little bit more
Yeah.
to convince yourself that.
Like I said, I'm convinced because like the reviews that I've read on this, because I mean, this is the same stuff that's used in the medical field as well. So I mean, the reviews that I've read, it's a really good product. So honestly, I would spend if I had this type of money, I would spend it on this. Because I think this is essentially it's actually money saving. Because if I go out and spend a bunch of money on trying to make my own thing, it doesn't work out. Then I'm already down like $500-800, and I have nothing to show for it.
And there's a reason that they make it out of that. They make it like they do.
I would definitely shoot for like, look at their warranty, or like see if they have like a protection plan, or something. Cause like, if it goes over like this or something, like within a couple of months, like see, I mean, I don't know how strict the warranty is or something like.
Yeah, because like at least with the Lexan, once you build the frame up and you've got this Lexan window that you're building through, if the Lexan goes bad, you can replace it, and it's $200 to replace it. And you can always, where this it goes bad, it's another $2,000. So, you know, I mean, you could build complete, you know, of a system that, you know, you fabricate, you could build 4 or 5 of them before you even start getting to there. And it's manageable sized materials.
Even if it's, how long do you think it's gonna take you to launch and get everything going for you to be making revenue?
I can't hear you.
How long do you think it'll take you to kind of start making money?
I think about 6 to 8 months down.
Okay.
Because if I can make like at least like 3 or 4 good looking videos, and I have like 2 or 3 people that can show and get like donations from them.
So even if the warranty is only 2 years, revenue from this type of people will probably be pretty good. We'll be able to buy you another 5 boards if you really need them.
Yeah.
So even if it is only a 2-year warranty.
I would argue the point though that if you are making that kind of revenue off of, you know, 3 or 4 videos,
Don't do something shoddy.
no, I'm not saying shoddy, because you can build and do things out of, you know, quality
But
materials
like, honestly,
yourself.
I'm not really that handy, so I would actually have to hire somebody and then go into like what's labor for them and then how much do I have to pay them and stuff. So that's why I'm kind of like.
I think if you're confident enough and you're sure and you know it's your project, it's your responsibility, yeah, I'm personally fine with it.
So let me change that. Because you maybe said this stuff, so you're gonna make a few videos and then kind of demo those as what you can do to funding organizations, right?
Yeah. Well, not funding organizations. I have like 2-3 contacts that have said like if I can show them a good product, then they would help support me.
Support you to go
Yeah,
forward.
but not like organizations. These are just people.
Do you know what content you? For some reason, I don't remember this piece. What is it you're gonna be? I saw your PowerPoint presentation that you've given to schools.
Yeah.
And I don't see how that would work with this. So you're thinking some other way, educational piece, right?
Yeah, so like oftentimes when you look up videos on religion on YouTube or whatever, it's like people preaching. They're not really educating. They don't really tell you what the truth is. But this is just gonna go through like not step 1, but from the very fundamentals of what even the word Islam means. So like even to in depth of the theology of why people do certain things.
And you prefer to do that in an interactive mode as opposed to PowerPoint slide type mode that you showed us. Okay, so that's your approach.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you're envisioning that your business or your company is going to be producing a lot of these types of educational videos, right?
Yep.
And then I'm thinking what your business is going to look like.
Yeah. I mean, down the line, what I'm thinking about doing is, you gave the idea 2 weeks ago of some, nonprofit organizations. They have a nonprofit sector, and they also have a for-profit sector. That's kind of what I'm thinking for down the line. So I'll be producing these videos, and I'll also be creating like pretty much like publishing books and stuff like that, or like selling books. So that helps increase the revenue for the nonprofit organization. It helps, it becomes self-sustaining.
But who's the customer for your videos?
For the videos, honestly, yeah, it's like middle school kids.
Alright, so instead of inviting you in, they would just show your videos?
Yeah.
You could even tag team it with, do a few videos to kind of intro like the actual presentation you do for like the middle school or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like, that's the guy on YouTube. Oh my god.
And that also allows me to like, instead of just going to schools in the area, I mean, cause I'll even drive down to Chicago, but then if I have to go to California or something like that, I'm not.
No, I understand. I was thinking about your business model, because you're just gonna have like a Khan Academy series of videos that are education about Islam, because that saturates after a while. I mean, you.
Well, it's not just the videos. Like I said, Professor DeMonte suggested doing interviews, and like he gave me a bunch of other ideas as well. So that's gonna be incorporated into what I'm doing. So I'm gonna have, you know, go to like I don't know, even if I'm at the middle school, I might interview like a couple kids, see what they have to say. Like, has your perception of, you know, the religion changed or whatever? What have you learned? And go to, you know, people in the community and talk to them.
No, I understand where you're going at. And for that reason, I agree, you want to have a good product out the door if you're going to use this as fundraising capability. So you need some good equipment. But at the same time, if you're just going to make 1 or 2 videos using this big expensive thing, you know, and then from then on your business model is going to change into something else. So that's what I was asking. Are you envisioning a whole series of videos? You know, lots of different aspects. Have you already like thought about, I'm going to have one lesson on this? Do you have like a lesson plan?
Yeah, I do actually. Not trying to brag or anything, but I got a lesson book. So, like I said, I'm working with Contact and Warren, and I'm trying to make everything concise and everything. So.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Do you see the Islamic community as, you know, maybe their kids as your customers too, or no?
As far as the Islamic community goes, like I'm from Pakistan, right? A lot of the Pakistani people, I don't think they would support this.
No, Islamic community in the United States.
Oh, in the United States?
Not necessarily.
Like not necessarily Pakistani. Yeah, I think in the U.S. I could get good support, especially.
You see it as your customers. I mean, people who would say, "I want my kids to watch this because you know, this fellow Abdul is really good at explaining this stuff."
I think that.
That's
like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Now I gotta put in a line item for sweaters now.
Casual sweaters. Mr. Abdul, that's all right, man.
But yeah, I think definitely I see them as potential
I'm just trying to
customers.
see how much this $2,000 thing is going to get used. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, trust me, it's gonna get used.
It's gonna get
Yeah, it'll get used.
All right, I'm done talking. All right, folks, you guys need to make a decision.
He's for it. I'm for it.
I'm for everything.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm still on the edge with the clearboard.
Is there any way to get a used one?
I'd like
I
a
haven't found
follow-up
any.
on Clearboard.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd like a follow-up on the clearboard. We still have time next week because we can spend some time with the social discussing this for 20 minutes or so.
Yes, those guys on CSI, what they use.
Like numbers that they
I
use
could
like
see
something
that board
really.
being 15 grand because
Yeah.
Hollywood just goes like this and they just don't care.
Like Mission Impossible, like interface.
Yeah, I like those.
You guys have set this up campus and stuff. So.
No, it's not Mission Impossible. It's Minority Report. You need that.
See those.
Can you make
All right, more opinions. Approvals, cautions, conditions.
I guess additionally, Christian and I have like we want to see a couple cheap pieces of stuff to show that there are issues with it, like $10, $20 pieces of stuff marked out in front of a camera. So either we want to see like lighting issues with them or marker issues with them. and, I don't know, maybe something that shows maybe that you're not very handy.
You want me to make like a birdhouse or something? Evaluation.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, comment that.
Yeah.
Have you researched different markers?
Yeah, I have. So, like I know Expo makes like neon markers. So I'm thinking about getting neon markers just to make it more clear.
You need to like write on, try with different glass and different acrylic or Lexan to try to see if,
Oh,
versus like a
like
normal dry
basic
erase
reading.
board marker. Try
That's,
different.
that's an interesting idea. What if you just bought some of those special markers and tried it in regular flats?
Yeah.
With a different marker, do something differently.
Yeah, maybe the magic is in the marker, it's not in the boards.
Specialized glass.
Because I know they make like the paint sticks that you can write on cars. You always see people put paint on cars. I mean, obviously that might be harder to get off every time,
yeah.
but it's supposed to not leave any ghosting or anything.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I'll look into
Because
that.
car dealerships, I mean, they constantly paint prices on their cars.
Yeah, the for sale stuff, and it's
Yeah.
really nice and clear
And
and bold.
obviously,
I will,
I want to buy a
of
vehicle
course-
if it still said $2,000 across or whatever the price was for.
You know what? You know what's really good
What's it?
with that? It's actually kiwi shoe polish. That's what that stuff is. It's kiwi shoe polish. We use it in cars all the time, and we'll put it on Ferraris, and it doesn't destroy them. So go get yourself a kiwi shoe polish stick. Try that. See if that works. See if you can get it into small like pen
Keep
form.
in mind, I'm trying to keep this professional, so it's not gonna be too good if I'm using shoe polish.
No, but that's what they use. You could cover up a pen.
Let's say you buy the specialized pen with probably
Yeah.
that shoe polish in it, right? But
Alright.
it looks good. But as a society, let's see if we can help out a little. Now, what are we telling him? Are we telling him, what, prove to us that this is the only thing that will work, or experiment a little bit more?
I think
or
more-
what are we telling him?
I would say experiment. Try a couple different pieces. Get yourself a piece of Lexan, get yourself a piece of polycarbonate. Windows and glass we can find all over the place, so, so try
And
that.
order some special pens from these guys.
Yeah, get some special pens and try to go out and find some different, like go to like a craft store, go walk into the Michaels, try to find something that's different than a standard dry erase marker, for writing on glass, for doing stuff like that. A Michaels or a Hobby Lobby should offer something of that nature.
Staples.
Yeah.
To me, if you do those things and it doesn't work, then
Yeah.
then I approve.
Yeah, no, and I think, at that point, I think for what you're trying to do, it makes sense. I'm not convinced that that's the best option as of right now.
Once we see
Yeah.
that it is.
Home Depot, the polycarbonate and the Lexan should run you no more than $20 a piece for testing out, most likely 10. I think the last time I bought a 11 by 17 piece of polycarbonate to go have it laser cut, it was $11 at Home Depot. It's in the lumber section. So, to make it that much quicker to find.
Now, how much do you think it would cost to make the like support?
To build a frame up, if you wanted help with that, a 2x4 runs $10. You're gonna probably need 5 2x4s.
They can cut it for you there too.
Yeah, 5 2x4s. Yeah, they can do some cutting. Just have something pre-dimensioned out. You're pretty much gonna take one, split it in half, and the other 4 are gonna stay the same size. But some screws and a drill. You can go to Harbor Freight and it's $26 for a drill, for a cord, even a corded drill. I mean, minimal cost with that. A box of screws is like $5. So to build a frame for this thing, you're probably looking, including purchasing tools, under $100. And then a piece of poly from Home Depot in a 4x8 sheet is like $178. So
You can use small stuff first.
no, but if you were to go full large size, you're looking at probably $300 to build one of these things, and ask somebody and we can help you put it together. But including purchasing tools and all that, you can build one of these for $300. That in terms of your framing, all you'd have to do is zoom it in to a point where you don't see any of the 2x4 frame that's all around. And if you wanted to, you could get yourself a couple rattle cans and spray paint it black.
Okay, you quick, and then we're wrapping this up.
Two things, I recommend trying different things to clean stuff off too. Different, like cleaners to clean it off so it doesn't go. And also, you could always just take regular trim, like a floor trim or wall trim on the floor, or crown molding and put it around there and make a nice frame, you know, so make it more professional, paint it or whatever, stain it real nice. So just to go around the 2x4s.
Alright.
Okay, so
So somebody summarize that for us, Bill? What do we just tell them?
Experiment with different materials for the clear board before purchasing this. And if those work, build a frame. Yeah, different markers,
So
different
so
cleaners.
my suggestion is that you guys approve it with that condition.
Yeah.
And they can come back asking.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Before you purchase it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
tell us, you know, why a Webex or anything. that
Throw
we-
it on you,
going.
Dad.
Which, by the way, Sagar just thinged me, he says, where's the Webex? I'm trying to attend the meeting.
Oh, here, let me,
Yeah, I told them Don's got the key. I spilled it.
If you want, I'll double check to see, I mean, we could even run it out, go pick up the Lexander Poly if you like. I'll go run with you over the Home Depot and run it.
That's yes, but.
So, pretty much, I think we're approving everything here, if that's all good and clear board. And, I mean, I guess just for continuity, if you could have something by next week for the social, that way we can sit down and go, okay, this is the best option.
It will be on YouTube.
We can approve it or not.
Alright, I'll see what
Next
I
week.
can do.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I can get the, like the plexiglass and stuff from Home Depot, that shouldn't be a problem.
yeah.
But, yeah.
Good. Okay. Thank you. So, now we're just gonna meet, next week at, sorry, last time, at 8 p.m. Thank you.
Yeah, it's nice.